Voting for Republicans actually raises the abortion rate and causes more death at home and abroad compared to voting for Democrats. And I want to mathematically prove it. Which nerds want to help me? I know a lot of Republicans think supporting a woman's right to choose means Democrats are you-know-what killers, but it's actually precisely the opposite. First of all, supporting GOP policies that are against comprehensive sex ed, contraception access, paid family leave, universal health care, and living wages, all things that keep abortion rates lower than ours in the rest of the developed world, will cause more women to seek abortions in America, since the number one reason they seek them is financial. Even with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, our abortion rate is still amongst the highest in the developed world, and it is not far off from where it was when Roe was the law of the land. Only France, Sweden, and the UK have higher abortion rates than we do as far as developed nations with similar abortion laws and access go. All of the following nations have lower rates than we do: Australia, Denmark, Spain, Hungary, Iceland, Norway, Netherlands, Portugal, Finland, Czech Republic, Switzerland, Belgium, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, New Zealand, Canada, and Greece, highlighting that comprehensive social policies actually reduce abortion rates more effectively than legal restrictions alone. Hence my contention that abortion-only voters are inadvertently working against their stated goal by supporting candidates who oppose said policies. Now, not only do I think we can prove that Republicans cause more abortions, but also more death overall, taking everything into account. Nothing is off limits here. What inspired me to want to find people that can help me prove this on paper was, believe it or not, advanced baseball statistics, where similarly conventional beliefs have been disproven by mathematicians and changed the way the game is played. I figure if those nerds can wade through all that noisy data, then we can sure as hell prove that abortion opposition is the emotional driver that enabled policies primarily benefiting the wealthy. So what's my real motivation here? My contention is that the single-issue abortion voters in America are being used by the GOP as their electoral lifeline that could be depended on in every election from local to presidential, whose moral majority provided the difference in votes for the trickle-down myth the Reagan administration sold us on when they orchestrated the biggest wealth transfer in history from the bottom to the top, which continues to get wider, slowly chipping away at everything we built for the majority of Americans, including education, social safety nets, you name it. The GOP will gut it and give the money to their criminal billionaire friends who will buy more power and influence to get us to consent to even more that will help them and hurt us. This ripple effect has moved the Democratic Party further to the right, forcing them to cater to neoliberal moderates rather than progressives, since they can't compete on the abortion issue alone. How does this extend to the rest of the world and all of humanity? Well, since we shape much of the world order, and since much of US foreign policy remains pretty consistent regardless of which party is in charge, this affects everyone from our military interventions, trade policies, climate inaction, support for authoritarian allies. All of this has global consequences that dwarf domestic policy differences. So who's with me? Who else thinks that the alliance between social conservatives and economic libertarians represents the biggest threat to humanity?